Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below. If you're returning, what's good, what's up, how you doing? Welcome back. Thank you guys for joining on this video. So today we are going to do some Fulani braids. Yes ma'am, I'm going to be doing some Fulani braids on myself, which I'm very excited for because I always felt like it would look really cute, but I was kind of just like a little nervous to try. But I am now in my era of trying new styles, being versatile, doing some different stuff, you know what I'm saying? So this is the time, and it's summer, so why not? I'm gonna take you guys through my journey of how I work, how I get my own braids done. All the styles that you guys see on any of my social platforms on here, Instagram, TikTok, they're all done by me. I've been doing my own hair for a while now, so yeah, I'm excited. Okay, so we're gonna start off with hair. This is the one that I will be using. I'm going to be using the, hold on, get this to focus. There we go. The Expression 48 inches. I only use about 2.5 packs when it comes to this style. When I come to knotless braids, like individual knotless braids, and of course if I'm going longer, then it can go anywhere from 2.5 to 3.5 to 4. But I always use 2.5 on this one for this style when you're trying to achieve the waist length look, which is what I am trying to achieve. I'm using it color 1. I love jet black hair, guys. Like, jet black is, it just looks so much healthier to me. So my hair, I always dye it to jet black. I literally love jet black. Now on to product. So I am going to be using this gel. It's called The Girls. It's for the girls. No, but it is a braiding conditioning edge gel. I love this product. So I'm going to be using this today for my braids and for my edges. You guys will see that through the video as I go through. Of course, you can't go wrong with your Shine and Jam products. So I have the hairspray here, the Shine and Jam Magic Fingers hairspray. I'll be spraying this on my braids for some sheen after they're done. And this is the setting mousse that I will also be using on my braids at the end when they are done. Then of course I have my clips to section my hair, and then I also use a braiding rack to prep. So I'm gonna set up the camera and let you guys watch me prep on how I get my racks ready so that I can speed on through these braids. I will link the Instagram page that I got the braiding rack from. Mine was, it's a 4 section and it was connected, but I took it apart because it's easier for me to work with it that way. But I'm pretty sure you guys are tired of hearing me talk and you just want to see me do the work. So let's get started. Okay guys, so when I work, I like to set up this way. I'm gonna show you guys my setup real quick. So I have this mirror right here, and with this mirror I use it so that I can see the back. So when I'm doing the process, you guys are gonna see me turning around a lot so I can see the back of my hair so that I can do the braids in the back. So I use this long mirror, get my cozy outfit on because I like to be comfortable when I do hair. This is one of the 4 racks that I have. I have one here and then one here. I'm only gonna use 2 this time because I'm gonna show you guys how you can maximize your braiding rack without having to buy multiple of them. I'm gonna show you guys how I rack that up. So let's get started. guys, so now that I've done the braiding rack and that I'm ready to start braiding, I am going to explain a few things first. So I did do the racks in 2 separate sizes. One size was a little bit bigger than the other. The smaller size, I'm using it for the front, and as I'm doing the front braids, I will explain to you guys why I used smaller pieces on the front of my head. So before I get started with the braids, I'm going to section my hair. This makes it a lot faster as well when I pre-section my entire head. So that way, while I'm braiding, I don't have to stop and section up my hair. So we're gonna start with that first. Alright, so now here you guys see me sectioning off my hair. I learned this method a little bit ago where you split your hair basically in half from front to back. This method just makes the partings a lot neater and a lot cleaner, and you're able to see all sections of your head. So then when I do that, for the purpose of this style, I'm going to split the front 2 in halves just so that I can see all dimensions of my head. So then I go ahead and go to the back and start sectioning it off by row. You guys see me turn back and forth just because of the angle of the mirror. It's make sure that I can see both sides and that the line is straight all the way through. And then I go ahead and just split it right down the middle and section it off in 2. This just makes sure that I can see all parts of the back of my head and make sure that all of the sections are the same size. So as you guys can see, I'm trying to make sure this line is as neat and clean as possible. I'm gonna go ahead and do this all the way through the back and just section off my hair completely so that it helps me braid faster. Okay, so I have finished sectioning off my hair. So this will be the front where the cornrows will be, and then this is the back where the individual braids will be. I'm gonna start now with the individual braids. So I'm going to use this gel that I mentioned about earlier. I'm gonna start off with the back. Working in the back just makes more sense to me to start with the back first and then kind of do the cornrows in the front. So yeah, let's get started. I'll explain what I'm doing throughout the process. Alright y'all, so here we're starting the knotless braids. Remember I mentioned that I did 2 different sizes. This is the size that I did that was bigger than the extra small size, but not too big. I was going for medium sized knotless braids, so I made sure the sizes were not too big. And then down here, this is where I'm showing you guys that I just like to twist the ends of my braids. I don't like braids that are not completed. So I just twist it. It's a new method that I learned, and it just helps seal the braid and make sure the braid is braided all the way down. And we're just gonna continue to do these knotless braids. A few notes, guys. Always start with smaller size when you're achieving small or medium braids. Unless you're doing like extra large knotless braids, then you can obviously start with a bigger size. But when you don't want your braids to be too big, make sure that your braiding hair is a smaller size, because as you continue to feed in, it will get bigger. So just make sure you always start with the smaller size and go through that way. I feed over my fingers and then grab them in the middle. It's just easier for me to do it that way. Some people feed under. If you guys want a more detailed video about how I do my knotless braids, go ahead and leave a comment down below and I'll make sure to get that out for you guys. But yeah, I'm just gonna continue braiding and we'll catch up in a little bit. so I did turn the camera off for just a little bit just so I can get some braids done, but I am about halfway done. Looks pretty good. So I'm about halfway done with the back, so I'm going to continue braiding and then we will get into more details on the front. Alright guys, so I am finally done with the back. Looks really pretty. Finally finished the singles in the back. So now we're going to get started with the feed-ins in the front. And I'm going to give you guys quite a few details on the way that I get through the front. I just realized that I didn't show you guys my inspiration for this style. So my inspiration is this. I'm gonna link it down below, but isn't that so pretty? I'm really excited for that. So this is the inspiration I'm gonna do. I found it on Pinterest, so I'm gonna put the link for this picture down below, and then I'm also gonna share my Pinterest hair board with you guys so that you guys can get some summer ideas, some spring ideas, winter ideas. I always like to save styles in there to kind of reference for later. So I'll put that down below. And we are going to be doing this style, so let's get started. Alright guys, so we're finally at the front. Right now I am just trying to create that side part, just like similar to the picture, trying to make it as neat and clean as possible. And now I am sectioning off my first braid. I like to start with the corners. It just helps me get an accurate measurement on where the other braids are gonna be. So I use the edge control to make the partings cleaner and neater. I use very little, not very much, just so that it can make the parting as clean and neat as possible. So now I'm about to split this into two, and the reason why I do this is going to help me kind of control the stitching of the braid. It's really hard to achieve stitching on yourself, at least for me. So I learned this trick where you can split it up this way, and as you braid, it'll be easier for you to see each section. So I just split it in half, sectioned off each part of the halves, and use edge control to kind of hold its individual place. And I did this on both sides, and it helped me a little bit more when it came to the braiding. That front piece that I separated, that is going to be my starting point. I always like to start with just my hair and then add braiding hair after I braid about 2 or 3 times with just my hair, just so that the front can be super flat. I don't think anybody wants bulky front cornrow braids, so yeah. So I'm just gonna start by braiding my hair like I mentioned before, and just starting with my hair to make sure that it's super flat, and then I go ahead and feed in with the braiding hair. All right, so fast forward a few braids later, still finishing up this side. Again, if you guys want a more detailed video, go ahead and leave the comment down below and I'll make sure to do a more detailed video. This was generally just to show you guys how I achieved these Fulani braids. So when I finished that braid, I went over to this side and did the first braid again, just to make sure that the spacing was accurate on both sides. You'll see me kind of try to make sure that they're even on both sides. And then I went ahead and moved over to the top and worked that way. So I am finally done with the feed-ins on the top. They look so good, but I have to go back and finish the ends of some of the braids that I didn't finish. So that's what I'm about to do now. Guys, I'm finally done. Yes, these look so good. Okay, sis, go off then. Now that they're done, I'm gonna go ahead and dip these braids in water just so that they can have some more flow and be finally complete. So when I put hot water on my braids, I don't like to dip them. I like to pour the hot water on them. I just feel like it gives it more movement this way and it gets more of the braids wet rather than just the end. So I like to pour it over this way, which is what you see me doing. And then of course just using a towel just to kind of get some of that water out of the end. And I don't know about you guys, but braids just like to hold water. I don't know why. So I went ahead and decided to use a blow dryer to kind of dry up the ends a little faster. So as you guys can see, it just moves so much nicer by pouring the water rather than dipping it. Y'all, these braids, period. So like I showed you guys before, I'm gonna go ahead and go over with this Shine and Jam mousse. This thing is the finishing touch for braids. It just adds so much shine and like makes your braids like lay super nice and neat. I usually will wrap them with like a plastic wrap, but I didn't have any more, so I just used the blow dryer and kind of pressed it down and then went over with my braid sheen just to add some final shine. Of course, we gotta lay the baby hairs because that is definitely the final touch on some nice braids. All right, y'all, this is the final look. Yes, they look so good. All right, guys, I am finally done. That took me about 6.5 to 7 hours. Not too bad, but it is finally done. I love it. It's so pretty. It's not too long. It's a good length. So yeah, I'm very tired. Very tired. Go ahead and leave your comments down below on what you think of this style, what you want me to try next. I'm gonna link all the products that I use down below. Once again, thank you guys for watching this video. If you're new here, please remember to subscribe. If you are not new here, thanks for coming back. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you love this video, you're definitely gonna love the next one. And if you didn't see my last one, go ahead and watch my last one, linked down below. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.